Welcome back. In this video, we will discuss about attribute directives in Angular. Angular offers two kinds of built-in directives. The first one is attribute directives and the second one is structural directives. Attribute directives listen to and also modify the behavior of HTML elements, attributes, properties and components. Just like a HTML attributes, attribute directives are also applied to HTML elements. That is the reason why we call them as attribute directives. Out of these attribute directives, there are three commonly used attribute directives. Out of that, the first one is ngClass. ngClass attribute directive adds or removes the set of CSS classes. Let me have a label inside a div tag and let me keep the name as ngClass with CSS classes, and the syntax for ngClass attribute directive is similar to the property binding and the class binding, where we will have a square brackets and inside this ng capital C LASS ngClass is equal to, on the right side we will have a template expression with the CSS classes separated by a space in form of string. We can write it. So let's go to our home component.ts file. As we are already having CSS classes, I am going to reuse this one, and let me copy this, and here I am keeping this CSS classes. Let me save the file, open the browser. Here you can see it is being applied. All the classes that are there in the CSS classes variable, that is class green and also the bold class and also the font size, which is there in our home component.css file. Green class, bold class and also the font size class. The right side template expression for ngClass can also have a CSS class object with CSS classes as a keys and the truth or false statements as a values for that particular classes. So here if you see this CSS classes object, we are having all the CSS classes as the keys, green, bold, italic and font size, which are nothing but our CSS classes, and the values for these keys are nothing but true or false. Based on that, if it is true, that particular class will be applied to this element, that is label. If it is false, it will not be applied. So we can also have the object format in the template expression of ngClass. Let me put it this CSS classes object and let me save this, and if you see this home component.ts file, we are applying green, bold class we are not applying, italic class we are applying, and font size is also applying. So it should be green color and italic and font size should be 3 rem, just like we have mentioned in the font size class. Let's go to browser, and if you see it is not in bold and but the format is italic and color is also green. Size is also 3 rem. If you have noticed, this ngClass directive is exactly same as, almost same as the class binding. If you have watched our class binding class, all the things that we are doing now with the CSS class string and also the CSS class object, we could also do that with the class binding using the just class instead of ngClass. Let me save this and show you. We will be having the same output just like this. So we can also achieve this with the class binding. However, one difference is, using the class binding you can also do single class binding, just like in this label we are applying only the green class particularly, with class.green on the left side and the variable which is boolean variable on the right side. Whereas with the ng class we will not be able to use that single binding. So that is the disadvantage of ng class, and also Angular suggests us to use the class binding for this single class binding, and it is also suggesting that wherever we can use the class binding instead of ng class, and there is a chance of removing this ng class directive from in the future versions. However, we can use for multiple classes binding, we can use either class binding or ng class attribute directive. And the next directive is ng style directive, which adds or removes a set of HTML styles. Let's have one more div tag, and let me add a label, and here the syntax for ng style is similar to this ng class only. Ng capital S style is equal to, on the right side here it will not allow us with the string format also. We have to use multiple style bindings only, and that too in a object format. So let's go to home component.ts file. We are already having a object for setting the HTML styles properties, the color as green and the font weight as bold, font size as 3 rem and font style as italic. So let's go and use this object, the JSON object, in our ng style attribute directive. Let me name this label as ng style directive, and if I go to the browser, we have ng style directive applied with all these classes. And if you have observed, ng style is exactly similar to our style binding, where we can achieve the same thing with just a style binding by removing this ng, and let's save this. And now I am removing this ng also, style binding. If I save this, I will be having the same output. So similar to this ng class directive, using ng style directive, we can only use this multiple style or property binding, whereas with style binding we can have single style property binding as well. So we can simply set like style dot color as, let me have a variable. So I have a variable scolor is equal to blue. I am going to use this, and I can simply have this variable binded, and if I save this file, I have style binding in a blue color. So this can be done using the style binding, but not with the ng style directive. So here also Angular suggests us to use this style binding for a single property style property binding, whereas for the multiple cases you can either use the style binding or the ng style directive. And the third one is ng model directive. ng model directive adds two-way data binding to the HTML form elements. So the two-way data binding syntax is really just a syntactic sugar for a property binding and event binding. So if you see here, I am having a input tag, and where I am using this property binding to bind this input value, and event binding. So whenever I change this input tag or the text box, I want to bind the value updated to this input value. So I am combining this property binding and event binding. Let me save this, and let me also show you the input value over here. And if I type something over here, I am seeing this variable updated, the label is updated. Instead of doing this with property binding and event binding together, we can simply achieve that with the ng model directive. The syntax for the ng model directive is banana inside the box, which is the parenthesis comes first, and outside we will be having a square brackets, and on the right side the template syntax or the template expression will have the variable where we want to set this to. Here it is input value. So if we save this file and then see the browser, whatever the value that we are updating, this text box was made with this ng model directive, and still we can see the content updated in the label, and whenever we remove this, it will also be removed. So this syntax is a short form of the above one, that is the property binding and event binding together. So internally Angular desugars this syntax into like this: ng model property binding is equal to input value, and also ng model change as the event binding is equal to, again, input value is equal to $event dot target dot value. So this syntax is exactly same as this syntax. So Angular desugars this syntax into the below one. We can also do this with this syntax. Let's do that. Let me comment out this one and save the file, and if I go to the browser, and still it will work as same. Sorry, it should be, the syntax should be $event only in this case, because ng model change event will not send us the entire event object. It will only send us the value that is being updated. Let me save this, and if I go to the browser, and now if I update it, it is working as same. The advantage of this one over this ng model short syntax is, using this ng model smart syntax or the short form of syntax, you can only update the input value, whereas with this format you can create one method inside your home component.ts file, the TypeScript file called update, and you can pass this $event, and inside this TypeScript file you can have this event method, and here you can update this dot input value is equal to event object, and you can also perform some actions, anything like consoling or some other operations. So using this format you can do some extra operations as well. Instead of just updating the value of input value variable, you can also do anything extra. So let me save the files and go to the browser, and now let me open the console. So if I type something, we can see the console messages over here. If you can see the number 27 times it has been logged the message. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.